My friends, what's going on, guys? My name is Kai. Welcome to the Sober Living channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by. What I love to do on my channel is just give tips, hope, and advice to anybody out there struggling from an active addiction, letting them know that there is hope, there is help, and there definitely is a path to recovery. Guys, today I'm 376 days sober. Thank you so much for stopping by and just joining me on the journey. I really appreciate it. So, guys, today I want to open up a little bit more about the nightmares that I've been having. One of you guys left me a wonderful comment letting me know that you guys, well, you in particular, are dealing with the same kind of thing. And that's exactly why I make these videos. I make these videos because, you know, I felt at one point like I was the only person experiencing this, and I just want to be able to use my experiences to help other people, but at the same time, I need help too. I'm just a recovering alcoholic, and I'm trying to get my life together as well, and I have issues in my life, and if you guys can help me with them, then that's fantastic. So I would like to talk a little bit more about my nightmares. So, as I said before, I keep having the exact same nightmare over and over again, and now I've been having this nightmare since I got sober. Ever since I got sober and I started dealing with the problems in my life that I actually had, rather than just drinking them away and trying to forget about them, that's when my nightmares really ramped up. Now, I was having nightmares before that, but the nightmares I was having before that were usually caused by media, by me watching too many things. I used to love prison documentaries, and now I'm 100% certain that that's one of the big reasons why I'm mortified of prison. But there's more to that. There's more to that, and I'll get into that. So, I just want to share my experiences with you guys and just open up a little bit more. So, as I said, I keep going back to the same location. It is this large, decrepit 5-star resort on a beach. And now imagine like a Jamaican resort, huge, absolutely huge, like the biggest resort you've ever seen. And at one point it was beautiful, but now like the apocalypse has happened. The sky is always like this weird red, foggy red. It almost looks like I don't even know how to explain it, but it's a very red sky with like black clouds, and it's so red that it casts a hue on the entire environment of just red. Like, you know when you see things that are sepia tone and they're like brown? Imagine that, but with like a red filter on it. Now, I'm in this resort, and in this resort there are a ton of guests, and the guests are usually people that I know. There's usually people from my past there, people that I've wronged, people that I've gotten into fights with, basically everybody who's ever had any kind of impact on my life is all staying at that hotel. And then what happens is the guests of the hotel, right, are allowed to watch the, let's say, experiments that go on to the people that are like myself. So when I get to the hotel, I am lined up with about 200 other people, and we're all put into a room, and we're completely naked, and we're put into this room, and there's basically 3 hallways. There's one that goes forward, there's one that goes left, and there's one that goes right. And basically we are sitting there, and we're waiting to either be told which wing to go to. Now, the 3 wings are: one wing you are just going to be sexually abused. You're just, every violation that you could possibly imagine is going to happen to you in that room, you know? And I'm not talking just about like sex and stuff like that. I'm talking about violent sex. I'm talking about things like, you know what, I don't even think that I can say them on YouTube, because I think that the video will get taken down. But it's violent, and it's masochistic, and it is not normal stuff. It is dark stuff. And it's basically torture. It's basically sex that is torture, you know? So you're either going there, or you're going into a medical experiment wing, where they pump you full of drugs, like mescaline, PCP, LSD, all of these different things, and they get you all like high, and then they start doing weird experiments to you. Like, as I said, I've had experiments where fiber optic cable has been put through my veins. I've had experiments where like ringworms, like tapeworms, have been, you know how you have like one large vein like here, you have your big veins here. I've had dreams where they'll cut open that vein, and then they'll take like a tapeworm, and they'll let the tapeworm slowly crawl into the vein until the tapeworm goes like into your body. So like these terrible medical experiments. I've had things where they'll pull off all of your fingers, not your fingers, your fingernails and your toenails, and then what they'll do is they'll take a knife and they'll scrape all of the dirt and stuff that's underneath your toenails, and they'll feed it to you. Just absolutely gross, horrific things happen in the medical experiment thing. I've had shards of glass be put under my eyelids, and then my face rubbed like this. I've had countless amounts of bugs, usually like worms, centipedes, bugs that have like long bodies and crawly legs, inserted into my nose, inserted into my penis, inserted into my rectum. Just horrible experiments. And that's what happens in the medical experiment wing. And then on the other side is the prison wing. Now, whenever I go there, it's always the same thing. I'm always the brand new person being basically thrown into this room of huge muscle men that basically want to kill me or make me their bitch immediately, you know? And there's one person who is always in my dream, and he's always my roommate, like my cellmate, and he mortifies the hell out of me. And he's a popular celebrity, and it drives me nuts because I'm a big wrestling fan and he's a wrestler. So whenever I see him on TV, it almost gives me nightmares. And that wrestler is Brock Lesnar. Now, if you know who Brock Lesnar is, or if you've ever seen a picture of Brock Lesnar, Brock Lesnar is not the person that you want to share a cell with in jail. I promise you that. If you guys don't know who Brock Lesnar is or like what he looks like, quickly Google Brock Lesnar WWE or Brock Lesnar UFC. This guy is a beast, and he's always my roommate, and he's always attacking me or doing horrible things to me. Now, the thing is, a lot of my nightmares, I believe, are rooted in real things. So, for example, the medical thing. I am a cancer survivor, and I went through 6 surgeries, 7 surgeries actually, to fully remove all of the tumors and cancer that was in my face and in my sinus. The surgeries went for years. They went for years actually. Basically what had happened was I had one tumor grow. It wasn't cancerous. They removed it, and then it grew back, and then they removed it, and then it grew back, and then they removed it, and then the 5th time that it grew back, then it was a cancerous tumor, and it had destroyed a large part of my orbital bone. It had destroyed a large part of my sinus. So I was in the hospital for a long time. I had a feeding tube in my nose and in my stomach. That's how I ate. I had a catheter tube. That's how I went to the bathroom, you know. I had IV tubes. So I was basically a robot. I was basically bedridden, attached to all of these machines. So when it comes down to imagining where my medical, like the medical wing of my dream comes from, I understand that. I totally understand that, because I've had these medical procedures done to me. Nothing as crazy as, you know, having blot flies attached to me, or having, you know, tapeworms put up my veins or anything, but I have had things inserted into my body. I've had terrible things. One thing that I kind of have to laugh at is my doctor told me, do not get out of bed. You are not like strong enough to get out of bed yet. Do not get out of bed. I decided that I am going to get out of bed, and when I went and I went like this, and I went to stand up, I stood on my catheter tube, and I went like that, and I stood up, and it pulled it, and oh my gosh, the pain, oh my gosh. So when it comes to the medical stuff, I get that, but I'm trying to get over it. I'm so trying to get over it. You know, usually when I go to the hospital, I wear an eye mask because I have PTSD. It's incredibly hard for me to look at anything in a hospital or even a doctor's office without me having a panic attack or a flashback. It freaks me out. But the other day, a couple weeks ago, I actually had to go to the hospital, and my partner, she gave me enough confidence to actually go in without an eye mask for the first time since my cancer. So that's great, you know, so I am actively trying to get rid of that. The other thing is with the sexual abuse stuff. I've said before on this channel, I am a sexual abuse survivor, and I'm not going to go too far into that yet. There's a couple things that I want to do first. I definitely want to talk to my partner about that before I go out and tell the entire world the details of that. I also want to wait until we have a little bit of a bigger audience, so my message can get out there a little bit better. But I am a sexual abuse survivor, and not just once, but 5 times. And so I understand where that comes from. But I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know how to deal with it. In my personal life, I've taken a completely different approach to sex now that I'm sober. Now the way that I feel about it is that it's incredibly important for me. Now this is just for me, but it's incredibly important for me that the next person that I am intimate with is somebody that I'm very much in love with, somebody that I care about, somebody that I want to build a relationship with, and for that matter, somebody that I am in a relationship with. So I used to be a punk rocker, you know, I used to be in a band, I've had my fun, is what I'm trying to say. I don't want to do that anymore. So when it comes to the sex stuff, I get where it's coming from, but I want to get over it, and I don't know how to get over it because I've talked to my therapist about it. I'm going to talk to my partner about it. I certainly can't talk to my family about it. But I'm trying to get over it. And I'm hoping that by the time that I get over it, hopefully that wing in the hotel will be closed and I won't have to go there anymore. But then the third one is prison. Now, the thing is, I used to watch all of those crime documentary shows, like the ones on serial killers, but the ones that really got me were the crime shows that were documentaries that were inside the prison. I know that National Geographic did a show called like Inside the Bars or something like that, where they would actually go into prisons and interview inmates and everything like that. And I used to watch that all the time. Now keep in mind too, I also went to university for police foundations. I was following in the steps of my sister. She wanted to be a police officer. I wanted to be like my sister, so I wanted to be like a police officer too. So I did 2 years of police foundation schooling. So there was a large part of my life where I was very actively involved in policing and learning about the criminal code and learning about prison and all of that kind of stuff, and it absolutely mortifies me. The idea of going to prison for me is just the scariest thing in the world, even scarier than being drafted into a war that you don't want to fight, because at least if you're in a war that you don't want to fight, you can at least try and run away. You know, if you're in prison locked in a room with someone, you're not going anywhere. Another thing that really bothers me is when I was a young man, when I was like 18 or 19, I was swindled into committing a crime that I did not know that I was committing prior to doing it. And basically what had happened was there was somebody, yeah, it wasn't even a friend of mine, but it was somebody I knew through somebody I knew, and I knew that they were very rich, and they needed help. They needed help moving something. Let's just say. I don't want to get too into the details because I don't want anything to come back to me. But basically, he lied to me. He said that we were simply going to a house to pick up some of his old equipment, and it turns out that, and so we went there, we drove all the way there. It was about 45 minutes away from anywhere, you know, it was out in the middle of nowhere. And he said, yeah, we're just going to go pick up some stuff. The landlord put a lock on the door because I got like evicted and I just need to pick up some stuff. And I was like, okay, like no problem. I needed the money. He said he would give me a few $1,000s to do it. And back then I wasn't thinking, I was a young man. And it turns out that it wasn't his house. It wasn't his house at all. And it was actually a robbery. And I did not know that. I did not know that at all. I didn't know it going into it at all. Basically, we got to the house and he pulled out a crowbar and he went up to the front and he broke into the house. And I'm not going to go into any further details, but I was in a situation that I couldn't get out of, and I had put myself stupidly in this situation that, yeah, I couldn't get out of it, and I didn't know what to do. And now I'm standing there, I'm a young man, I'm in the middle of absolutely nowhere with a complete stranger breaking into this house that I didn't even know what I signed up for. We got away with it. Like, everything was fine. He gave me, I think, $5,000 or $6,000 after. I never saw him again, and I never brought it up again until I got to rehab, and I talked about it. And I've always thought that subconsciously, I've always thought that that would come back to haunt me. I think that I've always thought that maybe one day I'm gonna have a knock on the door from a police officer, from that situation. Now I know now, with like the statute of limitations and the way that evidence works and stuff, that's not how crimes work. You know, nobody could come and arrest me for saying that I did something 10 years ago without any evidence, stuff like that. So I need to kind of chill out on it. But it is something that has, I think, subconsciously bothered me for a very long time. It's bothered me because it's been one of those things where in the back of my mind, I've always thought that the next knock on the door might be the cops coming to take me away, you know? And I know that can't happen. And that's not, and even if the situation was, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know. I didn't know. So, either way, I want to get help with these things. I'm talking to a therapist. My work has a like a therapist on call, like through our work. So I'm talking to them. I'm talking to my family doctor. I'm on a medication called Prazosin. I also take a medication called Tropamine, I think. That seems to help a little bit, but my nightmares are terrible. And you know what? I'm mortified of sharing a bed with my partner because once we get to that point where, you know, we're staying in the same room together, and I'm really scared that I'm going to scare her, or I'm going to make her uncomfortable, or stuff like that. So guys, if you guys have any tips, at all, please let me know. Also, this dream catcher, I think it's broken because it certainly didn't work last night. But we'll see. Maybe it just needs a little bit of breaking in time. Other than that, guys, again, to the person that left me a comment about your nightmares, thank you so much. You know, I make these videos for people like you. I really appreciate it. And, you know, shoot me an email. Maybe we can help each other out. Guys, I'm gonna get going. Oh, I wanted to clear something up too about the giveaways. So it looks as if somebody was giveaway sniping the last giveaway. So giveaway sniping is basically when somebody finds a giveaway, they have no intention on supporting the channel whatsoever, they just want the giveaway, and then they sign up with a bunch of fake accounts, and if they don't win, they pull out. I don't know. Either way, I just wanted to let you guys know that my subscribers have dropped under 500, but that doesn't matter. The winners for the 500 subscriber giveaway are still valid. Just because we've gone under that 500 doesn't mean that your prizes are not valid anymore. Your prizes are still totally valid, 100%, and they're going to be getting out to you soon. Alright, guys? So, other than that, I am doing the 1500 subscriber giveaway. If you guys are interested in that, please share my content. Please consider subscribing. What I'm doing is I'm giving 3 Amazon gift cards away, $25 each, with bonus $25 charitable donation in their name to any charity that they want that benefits addiction. And the first place winner will win a $50 Amazon gift card and $50 donation to any charity that they want that benefits addiction. I just want to make sure that while I am giving back to you guys, I have no problem doing that. I do want to make sure that this channel also does give back to charity and gives back to the addiction community, because that's really what I want to do on this channel. Alright guys, so wherever you are in the whole wide world, please be safe, please be sober. If you're not being sober, that's totally fine, guys. That's totally fine. Just remember, your parents love you. Have a ride home. Every one of your friends wants you to wake up tomorrow. Okay? Bye, guys. Bye, guys. Sorry about any confusion with the subscriber stuff. It's confusing to me, too. I'm just getting used to this YouTube thing. Bye, guys.